Anything?
I just didn't want to come out. The guys kept fighting. I got to congratulate the Atlanta Braves. What a great series. I mean, they fought us tooth and nail. What, a 5-1 run games. These guys in this room, somebody had to go home a loser, but nobody was a loser in my mind. It was two of the greatest teams that fought so hard all year long, and I'm just proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, nobody really was a loser. I'd like to know what it felt like. I mean, you come off the mound with an emotional inning, and yet your ball club doesn't score, and you got to dig down and go back out there again. What were those feelings like, 7th, 8th, 9th inning?
Well, there's a lot of guys that influenced me over my career about battling the guys and don't worry about what we do offensively, because sometimes the pitcher has no control over that. But perseverance, I guess. I just didn't want to quit, and somehow we figured out a way to win this thing.
All right, Jack Morris, 1991 World Series Most Valuable Player. Is there a more deserving one? Pat O'Brien.
All right, Kitty, thank you. We'll be back with all the action and celebration. Stay with us, folks. Kirby Puckett getting hugs from his family. Hugs all the way around in Minnesota as Jack Morris will get on his Harley-Davidson with that trophy. We'll be back after a commercial and a word from your local station. Stay with us.
Steve.
Mom,
Down where Jim Kaat is for the presentation. Kitty?
All right, Pat, my pleasure to introduce the Commissioner of Baseball, Fay Vincent, and he has once a year he gets this rare privilege. I'm not too sure this year there shouldn't have been two of them. What a memorable World Series. Commissioner, present the winner's trophy.
Well, I'm delighted, and to these gentlemen from Minnesota, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Pohlad, Mr. Bell, Mr. Macphail, let me present this trophy, which is, of course, symbolic of your having achieved the World Series victory. It was, I think, probably the greatest World Series ever. I was proud to be here, and I think all the fans who were here appreciate the effort you made and the great effort of the Braves. Two superb teams. Finally, let me say the President wants to congratulate the President of the United States and invite you to the White House for a ceremony where he can congratulate you personally. We're delighted for you. Carl, you have my personal good wishes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Commissioner. Carl Pohlad, the owner of the Twins, and I'd like to get a word from Andy MacPhail. We've shown a lot of pictures of the players, of the manager, of the coaches, but I think the man that was probably the architect of this 1991 Minnesota Twins team that took some chances and signed some players and got some money's worth with this man's money, Andy MacPhail, your feelings right now.
Well, thank you, Jim. I just want to take this opportunity to thank all our scouts, our minor league instructors and managers, our front office staff. Particularly Tom, his coaches did a great job, the players, and Carl for taking a giant risk for us. I'm glad it paid off. Thanks for everything.
All right, Carl Pohlad provided the money. Andy MacPhail provided the players. And Tom Kelly was the man that put the team together and ran it on the field. And, Tom, your thoughts about not just this team, this whole series and this night tonight, an unbelievable scene.
It was a storybook ball game. The whole series was like a storybook, going to play it out, Chapter 7. The Braves were just outstanding. I don't know which team played better, if one did or one did not. And by rights, you probably should cut it in half and give it to half to the Braves and half to us. And they were just great. And we're just fortunate to win this ball game. It was a storybook ball series. And I'm proud of all my players, and I'm proud of the Braves. They were just outstanding also.
A very emotional embrace for Jack Morris after this game. And when you got him, you said, we got a horse. He was one tonight, wasn't he?
10 innings on 3 days rest against a Braves team of that caliber is quite a remarkable effort. I was really examining my head, seeing what I was doing, sending him back out there for the 10th inning. But he wanted to pitch, and I said, well, it's just a game. Go get him, baby.
Well, it was a game, some game. And I'll tell you, there was more than one team in this game. We're going to hear from Bobby Cox, the manager of the Atlanta Braves, right after these words.
Hosted maybe one of the greatest World Series ever, the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And let us add our congratulations up here to the Atlanta Braves for a tremendous season. A lot of tremendous players, and they gave it their all, but just came up short in this one. On that note, let's go down to Tim McCarver, who is with the skipper of the Braves, Bobby Cox.
I am with Atlanta manager Bobby Cox. And Bobby, there were so many times during that game that you didn't think, I'm sure, that you were going to be giving this interview as part of a losing ball club.
Well, Timmy, we had numerous opportunities to win that ball game. We just didn't get the big hit. We had runners at second, third, no outs, and we couldn't get the ball out of the infield. And Terry hit a ball into the gap, and of course Lonnie stopped and went back. He lost the ball, I guess, and would have scored on that probably, but we didn't. But you figure you're going to score a run if you have runners at second, third, no outs, and we just didn't do it.
there was two outstanding pitchers going head-and-head tonight, and Jack Morris and John Smoltz, and Morris would get in trouble and get us out, and Johnny Smoltz pitched one well of a game, and our bullpen pitched well also. It's just, I hate to be on the short end of it, but we are.
What a gutsy move in the bottom of the 8th inning also, with you walking Kirby Puckett with runners at first and third and pitching to Hrbek.
Well, Kirby is a special guy in the back of my mind all the time. He's a guy that can beat you, and he deserves a lot of credit for the success of the Minnesota franchise. I know that. He's a guy that we try to avoid if we can.
Have you met with your club?
Well, we really haven't had time. I think everybody's a little bit frustrated and mad right now. We felt we should have won a game before this and closed it out, and felt like we should have won the ball game tonight, but we didn't. We'll be okay. We'll be ready next spring.
Well, my congratulations on a terrific year, Bobby.
Well, thank you, Tim, and congratulations to CBS. I know you guys did a great job.
Thank you very much. Bobby Cox, the manager of the Atlanta Braves.
And a very classy guy. Think about where they were after the All-Star break and all the respect they've gained since then. Let's go back down to Jim Kaat, Kitty.
All right, Pat, it seems like about half the team here are the winning Minnesota Twins. A lot of memories of this World Series, up and down about 18 times tonight. Rick Aguilera, your thoughts on the series and on being a part of this ball club as a premier closer?
Well, first of all, I got to thank God. Just a blessing to be here. There's great teammates and organization. It's just been a great blessing. I'll tell you, it was just very emotional, very draining physically, mentally. But I mean, you can't say enough about the effort Jack gave us tonight and the way we battled the whole series. Just all-around terrific series.
All right, Rick Aguilera, how about a key play in tonight's game, which was when Chuck Knobloch on the ball that Pendleton hit, along with Greg Gagne, a little big league decoy play, and that was key in the game. I mean, how do you react that quickly to making that play?
Well, you know, we do it during the season, and we just the ball was hitting the gap, and we just try to carry out a double play, and we got Lonnie's attention. He got all confused out there, and ended up being a big play of the game.
All right, quickly, the hero of last night's game, holding the World Series trophy, Kirby Puckett, 2 times in 5 years. Doesn't get any better than this.
Doesn't get any better than this, man. This is the best there is, and we're the best. This is it.
How about Ken Hrbek? A lot of people, he didn't have a good series with the bat, but a lot of people got a chance to see the way this guy can play first base. Now, you said yesterday you were having fun, but deep down in, they're pretty nerve-wracking.
I looked over at Lemke at second base in that last inning right before Gino hit the ball, and I grabbed onto my stomach, and he grabbed onto his head. It was getting to us out there, but they got nothing to hang their heads about. It was a great series, and I'm just happy I'm on the winning end.
It'll go down in history, I think, as one of the most memorable. Another big part of it, Dan Gladden in the middle of everything, as usual, and coming off a late-season slump. What a high for you right now.
Yeah, it is. I think everybody's pretty excited right now. I don't think Atlanta, those guys played real well. They don't have anything to hang their heads about. Anybody really could have won this series, and it just happened. They had opportunities to score, so did we, but we had the last at bat in the 10th, and Gino came through.
Sure did. An emotionally drained Minnesota clubhouse. Let's go back. Pat O'Brien will be coming back in just a moment, but first a couple of messages.
Where do you want to be?
The cars more people depend on. Radio Shack, America's technology store. Nobody compares. And by UPS, now offering 10:30 a.m. guaranteed overnight air delivery.
Welcome back to the Metrodome in Minneapolis. The Twins have won the World Series. Jack Morris is the MVP. 1-0 was your score. 10 innings. The two men who were right above home plate calling the game for you, Jack Buck and Tim McCarver. Fellas, what a series.
What a series. What a clincher.
Well, I'll tell you, going into it, it may sound trite, but both teams, Cinderella teams, the difference, I think, between this story and the other story, the real one about Cinderella, in that story, there's only one prince. I think in this series, there were a bunch of princes, weren't there?
Yeah, they were terrific. The Braves were great all year, and, well, you've heard it all, that it's a shame that anybody had to lose. The thought that I have in my mind, Tim, after watching all of this action, is that the season is over. And everybody in the game, a fan, a coach, a player, a manager, front office, scout, surrender. They say, that's enough, especially after a game like this. But then Christmas comes, New Year's, contracts are signed, trades are made, free agents are signed, and then baseball, like the rose beneath the April snow, will force its way to the front again. And we'll have the fever once more. But we can lay this baseball season to rest it's in the book.
It's to rest, but it'll be very memorable for you and me and for everybody.
It's been fun. Don't go away. We've got some beautiful pictures, baseball pictures for you to enjoy. Let's go back to Pat O'Brien.
All right, guys, as we say around here, we can sleep in November, right? We have just concluded our second year of covering Major League Baseball here on CBS, and believe me, we have put our hearts and our souls into this labor of love. This year's World Series has gone the distance, but in a way it was a lot easier to cover because the games have been so dramatic. Two teams charging from worst to first in two cities, backing them up with everything from tomahawk chops to homer hankies. But now, for so many of us, this is a sad time of the year, really, so I'll just whisper the words. Baseball season is over. But the beauty of baseball is that it never really goes away. And what other sport can boast of a hot stove league? But you know what really warms the heart during the chill of the offseason? It's the thought that spring training is right around the corner. On that note, for all of us here at CBS Sports, I'm Pat O'Brien. So long from Minneapolis.
Baseball breaks your heart. It is designed to break your heart. The game begins in the spring when everything else begins again, and it blossoms in the summer, filling the afternoons and evenings. And then, as soon as the chill rains come, it stops and leaves you to face the fall alone.
Ball into right, and that drops. He is safe, and it gets away, and we are tied. Hits it into left field. Here comes Justice. Save! And Atlanta wins it. They're sending him home.